because God has done it for that person. And you are there in a holding pattern. You are asking God, when is my time? When is my time going to come? God has sent me to somebody here this morning that you are not going to stay in that holding pattern for too long. Amen. You are not going to stay in that holding pattern for too long. Amen. We all go through a season of waiting. In fact, what you are waiting for can be very different from what I am waiting for. Yes. But we have one thing in common, which is waiting. Do you know that waiting is a basic occurrence of life? Is a basic occurrence of life. We go, sometimes we leave home in the morning and we rush to the tube station, we rush to the train station, and we stand there waiting. Waiting is something that happens every now and then. In fact, it's even worse when you're very hungry, and you decide to drive into a restaurant. How many of you go to Nando's? For those who will not say never, when you get to Nando's sometimes, the truth is that you see a long queue. And you're standing there. You'll be lucky if it's a big Nando's. Because some of them you could queue from inside to outside and it's cold. And somebody's trying to check for tables. How many of you? 5 of you? 6 of you? We went to a place, and that reminds me, we went to a place in Croydon. In fact, it was when I invited some people from America to this church, and we decided we need to take them out. And when we got to the restaurant in Croydon, we were standing there. Now, initially, it was 20 minutes. And I thought, okay, it will get better. It was 30 minutes. It wasn't getting better. I think we left there after when it must have been about 50 minutes. And you know something? I was so hungry that I started getting filled up without eating. You know when you're so hungry that you don't even want to eat anymore. So we have to leave waiting. Some of us, we go to the airport. We have been told when our plane is supposed to leave or when the person will come who is arriving, is the plane supposed to land. But when we get to the airport, it's a different story. I'm just talking about delays. You see, we all go through delays. In fact, because we all go through delays, manufacturers, inventors, people who are quick thinkers, they've started to develop so many things that will eradicate our time of waiting. And that's why today, you see, you go to the supermarket, they talk about instant pudding. In other words, you don't have to do too much work. Just put it in the microwave and everything is okay. Instant mashed potato. You don't have to mash it. It will mash itself. Instant credit cards. Within minutes you can get answers whether you've been granted or not. In fact, in America today, you can have instant marriage. You haven't even seen the person. And right on the internet, you can actually wed because you can see each other and you'll be connected to a registrar who will wed the two of you together and later you can see each other. Instant marriage. But can I say God help you if you do that? Because when you do that, it's like going to buy a car in a car auction. You have to take it home before you know what's wrong with the car. Buyer what?
Buyer beware.
Buyer beware. You know what I'm talking about. All these things, they are geared towards just making things faster. In fact, whoever came up with self-service in the supermarket, it's another method of trying to make sure that you don't stay in the queue for so long. You can easily help yourself and get out of the supermarket so quick. I'm going somewhere with this. Tell somebody, Pastor is going somewhere. I've come to realize that it takes the grace of God not to lose hope when the waiting is too long. It takes the grace of God not to lose hope when the waiting is too long. Tell someone, don't lose hope. Whatever you do, don't lose hope. You see, can I also say to somebody here today that because you come to church, because you work in the audiovisual, because you are a pastor, because you sing in the choir, because you talk in tongues, that doesn't mean that you'll be exempted from waiting. In fact, what I'm saying here is that it doesn't mean that at the snap of your finger, everything will happen. And please be very careful about men of God who will tell you that as long as they pray for you, everything will happen immediately. They are not God. They are man. They are men. God will decide to do anything at his own time. And if anybody can decide when anything is going to happen, then he's not using the power of God. Are you with me? Be very careful. And can I also tell you, when we face delay, there is always the possibility that we get discouraged. There is always, church, understand me very well, when we go through delays, because you see, we need to know basic things. That because you go through delays, that doesn't mean that you are not a Christian. That doesn't make you a sinner. That doesn't mean that God is not in control. But it's the basic things of life. It's one of the basic things of life that we encounter. In fact, some will leave one church to another because they've waited for too long. It's not the church that fulfills your aspiration. It's not the church that gives you whatever you require. If it is the church, then you can move church. But if it is God that will answer your problem, whatever church you go, it won't be another God that will be there. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes.
You see, the thing is that when we go delays, we become sometimes frustrated. The first thing I told you is that we become discouraged, we become frustrated, and sometimes we can become angry. 3 things are mentioned here: discouraged, frustrated, angry. Why? Because we are human. Because we are human. In fact, sometimes it's hard even for people to take it in when things are happening for everyone around you and you are stagnant. Because we are human. The truth remains that God keeps his promise.